We are back at it. Weekend's a done deal. Another work week has begun, but it's Monday, and you know what that means for you regular viewers of this program. I'm here to work. Malcolm is here to work, but we're not going to work real hard. It's the 20th day of July, 2026. I give you a local temperature as we sit right now, but for the last 5 days now, since Wednesday morning, the National Weather Service's weather station up at Payne War Memorial Airport, the official barometer of everything, is not working. So just imagine what you think the temperature might be. You can see the haze behind us, so we're going to see the air quality degrade throughout the course of the day today. Of course, we have one really big fire up near in Chelum, and then one to the east of that. And the winds are going to. The upper winds, which is the most important thing when we talk about smoke, is going to change direction. It's going to start funneling some pretty dirty air down our way. Not going to be too bad. Those details will take precedent when we do the weather. Plus, we got news. Sports, Mariners took 2 of 3. They're back up to 500. Nice victory over the Giants. Come from behind victory as well. Spain is your 2026 world champion of football. We'll have that. Apple Sox keep rolling right along. Seahawks report to camp late this week. I probably should mention that. I had my conversation with my good friend Mike Malmin. They are making very good progress. They got the permits. They got everything that they need to remodel the Wenatchee Valley offices on Orondo Street after that flood back in October. It was an informative and important conversation with Mike, and he also mentioned Close for the Classroom, which is coming up. We'll have that for you in the back half of the program, 2 minutes after the hour, and here we go. And you will notice we do have some hazy, smoky skies. Again, the fires, as far as the crow flies, the fires are quite a ways away from us, but it really took off, especially the Kaiser Canyon fire. It just zoomed over the weekend. It's over 100 square miles. That's a lot. There's another good idea of what we're dealing with. That is from the jump-off ridge camera. Now, the air quality right now in the Wenatchee Valley is fine. It's moderate in some locations. It's still good here. Now, again, that will probably not be the case by the time we get together tomorrow. We'll just have to see. But we're really not going to see a lot of lower level winds. All the winds are going to be up in the atmosphere quite a bit, which is why we're seeing some of that haze. Good morning to our friends in Leavenworth. A beautiful view there from the Tumwater Canyon camera. That's about the only view we can really get of Leavenworth. You turn that camera almost any direction but where it's at right now. Either you get the post that it's sitting on, the support post, or you just get trees, but we'll take what we can get, and that is a nice view. And this will give you an idea of what they're dealing with up to the north of us. The weather station in Omak is working. It's 72 degrees up in Omak, but look at that. That's not real good. And again, we've mentioned this before. This camera is over 7,000 feet in elevation, so it may be not so bad down at the surface where the Met-How meets the Columbia, but up high, it doesn't look real good. 2 things to show for you. This week is going to be hot. Tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will see high temperatures in the triple digits and close to it on Friday. We'll cool down a little bit over the weekend, but it is going to be extremely warm on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can see where Wenatchee is as far as the heat risk. We're going to have a major heat risk by the time Wednesday gets here, but Tuesday we have a chance of getting to 100 degrees. A lot of it is going to be how much radiant heat we get and how much smoke is going to keep the temperatures from taking off. And I told you we are in for a little bit of smoke. You can see the big fire. That's pretty obvious. That's the Kaiser Canyon fire. And this is what the winds are supposed to do to that smoke throughout the course of the day today. This is the timeline from the National Weather Service. I sent this down last night. And as you can see, the upper level winds are going to change directions, and it's going to start blowing the smoke to the south and to the west, and that's where we are. Again, doesn't look too bad. Moses Lake, he may have some dirtier air than Wenatchee, as you can see. So it's that, just be ready for it. Look to the north and to the east to see where the smoke is coming from. All right, from the National Weather Service, at least the forecast people, they're still working. A little hazy today and a little warm. We'll get up to about 92 degrees, which is slightly warmer than normal for this time of the year. Hazy tonight, mostly cloudy, 71 for the overnight low. Hazy and hot. Now, right now, they say about 100, the forecast high on Tuesday. But again, if we get some more haze, it could keep us from getting to the triple-digit mark, but it's the overnight low is going to be extremely mild, 74 on Tuesday, and then 102 on Wednesday with quite a bit of sunshine, 102 on Thursday with quite a bit of sunshine. No wind at all in the Wenatchee Valley until we get to Friday afternoon, and even then, not too much. Friday afternoon, Friday night, a little breezy, but not really windy, so it's going to be very warm, and it looks like your air filters are in for a workout. Starting later on today. Going to take a break and come back with your news on this Monday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
A lot of haze up Lake Wenatchee way. You saw that. It's going to be hazy and warm today, not hot. About 91 or 92. We're going to be almost 10 degrees warmer than that on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A little cool down on Friday, but of course we'll begin with all eyes to the north and to the east of us on the Kaiser Canyon fire, and it just took off over the weekend. As of this morning, the big thing is protecting the town of Nespelem, which is still there. Although some buildings have been lost, nobody has been injured to our knowledge, nobody has been killed. But the Kaiser Canyon fire is now at over 60,000 acres. Put that into perspective, that's 103 square miles. It is 0% contained. Over 1,000 people have been evacuated from the town of Nespelem and the general area, which is pretty much everybody, come to think of it. An idea of the severity of the situation. Right now there are 500 firefighters on scene, but the Complex Incident Management Team, this is a group from Colorado, is going to take command of the fire this morning. That tells you how serious it is. Again, the town of Nespelem is completely surrounded, but it is intact. The big issue they've been dealing with, especially on Sunday, is that the fire has now crept into some heavy timber, which is never a good deal. And not too far from the Kaiser Canyon fire is the Modrite fire. That broke out on Friday. It is now at 6,000 acres, luckily in a very sparsely populated area. It's about 6,000 acres in size. It's, as you can see there, right on the west shore of Lake Roosevelt, so at least they have quick access to water in both of those fires, but we'll keep a very close eye on not only that fire, but the big fire, the Kaiser Canyon fire. Well, if you're a registered voter in North Central Washington, you got your ballot in the mail. You should have by now anyway. If you haven't, contact your county auditor. Speaking of county auditors, our news director, Rick Boone, went to the office of Chelan County Auditor Brent Capel on Friday to get the information that you voters need to know.
There are ballots in the mail right now, huh?
Ballots in the mail, ballots in the mailbox. We've been seeing them come into our drop box here in the office, and we'll start emptying out the drop boxes that we have throughout Chelan County. So folks have them. If they don't have them by the 22nd, we urge them to call our office, and we'll make sure to track them down.
How does someone vote? Is it all primarily 100% by mail? Can they come in here and vote?
It's 100% mail-in, so we're 100% mail-in state. They can come in. This is a voting center, but what we would do, you can see in the background here, we do have some spots. We would reprint if they don't have their ballot or if they lost it or damaged. We'd reprint them. They could fill it out here, but they're still going to drop them in the drop box.
You know, sometimes ballots can be a little bit confusing if there's a question or a way to vote or something like that. Is the auditor's office a place there also for information to help you understand some of the things you're reading on the ballot?
For technical things, yes, and if they have a question about how to put it in the envelope or the signature area on the outside of the envelope has changed a little bit, so we're receiving some of those. We really can't assist folks in actually the voting part, so that's up to the voter.
And what happens after the ballot is in, after the person votes? What's that whole process? I know on a lot of election nights we're going to do it, and where we have the early vote numbers, and then we're waiting for the day of numbers. How does the process come in when it comes to counting the vote? Yeah, so we periodically will go and collect ballots out of the drop boxes. USPS is bringing ballots to us here too, and then we have our whole system here in the background where we have not only my full-time staff here, but we also have part-time seasonal folks that come in. Bring that ballot in, we'll count them, bundle them up, and then it goes through a signature verification process. And then after that, then it's open, and that's when the identity of the voter and the ballot is separated. And then from that process, it goes through a system of counting it, and then election night, coming out of our secure area there that's unconnected from any network connections, we then upload that to the Secretary of State's website. And so that initial count is everything that we've received up to a prior of the election day. What about anybody who may have a feeling of votes being slid in there and not officially counted, or someone voting and they're not alive or anything like that? How do you help to make sure that that's not happening with the vote?
I think one of the biggest things is if folks do have questions, I urge them to come in and see the process as it's going on. It's a very transparent. We call it the fishbowl because it's fully englassed. Everyone can come and watch and see the process there. The biggest, I think, thing that we do here in Chelan County and Washington State is the signature verification. So even if someone got a ballot that wasn't theirs and tried to vote, they would have to provide a signature. If that signature doesn't match the voter, then we're going to contact that voter and let them know that it didn't match, and then they can cure it, fix it, or if it's not yours and it's not your signature, well, there's not much there to cure.
And every time, and I mean every time, a motorcycle shaped like a pear rolls into town, we always put our own Josie Meets on the story, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened last week, and there's proof that Josie is doing his job.
Josie Meets here with Wenatchee World and the NCW Life Channel. I'm here with Andrew Glubby, who built and is riding this pear car all the way across the country from Florida. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tell me a little bit about this journey and where are you coming from, where are you going, what inspired it?
Yeah, so I came all the way up from Florida, and I'm going, my original idea was to go all the way across the country, and that's what ended me up in Washington. Mm-hmm. And I was hanging out in Tacoma for the past week, and then now I'm out here for filming some stuff with USA Pears. And it's been the most crazy journey of my life, for sure. I mean, it's been unbelievable. I've been on the road for probably 8 weeks now, and it just gets crazier and crazier the more that I drive, the further I get from Florida, it seems like. So,
tell me a little bit about the car. What is it actually? How'd you build it, and what inspired it?
So it is actually a motorcycle, if you can't tell. But yes, it's a two-wheeled car, but it's a Kawasaki 650. And I started out on a scooter, which was a little bit crazy, looking back on it. It was a 170cc scooter, a little Chinese moped. And I was going 35 miles per hour all the way to Montana. Blew up over there, and so I got this nice new upgrade over in Montana. That's why I'm rocking a Montana plate right now.
And what's it made out of, like the pear itself?
Yeah, so I started with a wood base, and I screwed supports, just drywall screws right to the frame of the bike. And then from there, I cut up a bunch of fence panels, the little thin fence pieces, and arranged them in a way to make it look like a pear shape. And then the soda cans and beer cans, I cut them up and laid them flat as the skin on top.
Where are you off to next?
My next checkpoint is gonna be San Diego. That's what I'm trying to get to, but I'm gonna be in Portland by this weekend, hopefully, if everything goes right. I'll be in Portland, and I'm really excited for that.
Awesome. I also do want to ask you, where'd the artistry of sculpting begin for you?
Yeah, so it started on the cars. I mean, I always drove around like crappy, cheap cars. Maybe I got it for like $1,000 on Facebook or whatever. And so when something would break, like I remember locking my keys in there one time, and I was like, I'm just gonna break a window and then screw some wood onto it to fix it. And from there it was like, well, it already looks bad. I might as well paint it up and do all this kind of crazy stuff to it, which led to like extremely modifying cars, you know, just like slow steps up to like, okay, now I'm driving this crazy thing that just doesn't really make any sense, but it makes sense if, you know, starting low and then getting up to a point where it's like, now I just can't even drive a regular car. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for letting us stop you on your journey to catch up with you. Is there anything else you want to add?
Eat more pears. Pear season's almost here.
Here with the extraordinary Pear Car and Andrew Glubby, I'm Josie Meets with the NCW Life Channel and the Wenatchee World, and sweat is in my eye.
There you go. You want to stay in the loop? Well, take a chance and watch the news tonight. At 5:30, 6:30, stay in the loop of what's going on around here. One last time, I'll be doing the weather forecast. Grant will be back tomorrow. Thanks for that. You got a news tip? Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners went back to work over the weekend. Not bad. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for spring and summer of 2026. Book now for your free consultation to lock in your savings of a free heat pump, an $11,000 value. Let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your backyard into a vacation paradise with an industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa. Give us a call today.
It is 19 minutes after the hour. Logan Gilbert looked pretty good. He struck out 10. Luke Raley had a homer. Cole Young had a homer. And the Mariners take 2 out of 3 with a victory yesterday over the Giants, 6-3 at T-Mobile Park. So the Mariners are back up to the 500 mark for the first time in a couple of weeks, and now within a half game of the Rangers for first place in the West. Andres Munoz pitched a 1-2-3 ninth for his 17th save of the year.
Deep into center field. Eldridge hitting that one really well. Adios, Pelota. That's his second home run of the series. And to the left of straightaway center. That could be a graveyard for a left-handed hitter in this ballpark. Not for Eldridge.
Wow, what an impressive swing of the bat. First swing of the day against Logan Gilbert. Hasn't seen him before and says, you know what, the best chance I have of getting a hit today.
Into right field, base hit. Schmidt coming around third, and he will score. The throw will go to second. Big hit for Elliot Ramos. Didn't hit it hard, but he placed it extremely well. 2-0 Giants.
Well, that's the pitch you got to hit if you're the Giants.
Here's Josh Naylor. On the ground, and it works out. A worm burner scores a run for the Mariners. It's a one-run game. Naylor, his second hit today.
They haven't been all that pretty for Josh Naylor, but they're finding grass. This was a two-seamer up probably and out of the zone, well out of the zone, in on his hands, and he just goes the opposite way. Doesn't hit it hard, but finds a hole.
Fly ball to move Randy to third. Ground ball, and it's through. A base hit. Weston Wilson has tied the game. The 1977 Mariners have shown up here in this fourth inning. And we are right back where we started.
Down to left field line, Thayer headed into the corner. The Giants go right back ahead. Adames scores a double by Luis Arraez. Almost as if to say, you struck me out twice. You've got one coming for me, brother.
I still think he's winning right now. 1 for 3 on the day with a 2-out RBI. Just put his team up in this game. I mean, just what a great job of hitting. We've seen it all year from Luis Arraez.
On the ground, over to third. Schmidt to second, on to first base in time for the double play. Cole Young scores, and this game is all tied up.
It's not how Cal Raleigh drew it up, but at the same time, it just shows you how important it is to put the ball in play. No RBI in the books for Cal Raleigh, but that run ties the ball game.
Deep drive, right field. How much does he get? He got it all! It's a pinch hit. Go ahead home run off the bat of Luke Raley.
He sees the changeup and just unleashes on this ball into right center field. Reads it, times it up, and hits this ball 103 miles per hour into the seats in right.
Young down the line to the corner. Cole Young, home run, back-to-back games.
I'm not saying that Luke Raley and Cole Young went up there looking for the changeup, but they certainly recognized it out of Hauser's hand. That's what Cole Young hits out as well.
Munoz sent 0-2. And he gets them to end the ball game. A shutdown inning in the ninth for Andres Munoz. 6-3 the final score. And the Mariners come out of the All-Star break and they win their first series 2-1 against San Francisco.
I love everything about this game, Aaron. Logan Gilbert with 6 innings. He had 10 strikeouts. Early, they were able to get to him. They got 2 runs early in that first inning and then nothing until that Arraez double in the 5th inning.
Mariners host the Reds tonight. Good seats still available. 6:40 first pitch. George Kirby, by the way, will toe the rubber for Seattle. Seattle wins. Everybody else in the AL West loses. Well, except the Angels, but they don't really count. They're already 12 games back. So the Mariners are now within a half game of the Rangers, who lost to the Braves. 8-5. The Astros fall 4 games back after losing to the Orioles. The Athletics are now 8 games back because they lost to the Nationals. Only the Angels and the Mariners won yesterday. Congratulations to Spain, champions of the football world for the second time. They won it all in South Africa in 2010. And in a not particularly entertaining game, but it's the World Cup. I watched it. They beat Argentina with 1 goal in extra time. Congratulations to Spain, and they deserved it. Wenatchee Applesauce keep rolling right along. They've played 12 series and West Coast League games this year. They've won all 12 of them. They did it again. They had to beat Victoria yesterday up north, and they did that. 3-1 after winning on Saturday but losing on Friday. They got Port Angeles coming to town tomorrow at 6:35. And as you look at the West Coast League scoreboard, some amazing statistics in case you haven't been paying attention. I've been talking about this. The Apple Sox winning percentage is .718, by far the best in the West Coast League among all 16 teams. They are 28-11, best record in the league among all 16 teams. They are #1 in offense, #1 in defense, #1 in pitching. They've already clinched the playoffs. Go watch this team play tomorrow when they take on the lefties. You'll be glad you did. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. We'll get to this in more detail on Today in History, but today is National Moon Day today. And I think you know why. About 4.5 billion years ago, a rock about the size of Mars hit the planet, and we gave birth to that thing. Why does the moon and the sun look the same to the naked eye, the same size? Well, the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's also 400 times closer to us. So that's why they look about the same size to the naked eye. Of course, only one side of the moon actually faces the planet Earth. And the next time we send someone to the moon, a manned mission to the moon, they need to bring some garbage bags with them, because the following items are on the moon and they're still on the moon: 5 American flags, 2 golf balls, 12 pairs of boots, TV cameras, film magazines, 96 bags of urine, feces, and vomit. These are all on the moon. Hammers, tongs, rakes, shovels, backpacks, blankets, towels, used wet wipes, personal hygiene kits, empty packages of space food, and all kinds of junk, and about 70 spacecraft still up there, rovers, modules, crashed orbiters. So we need to go up there, and we need to have a cleaning party up there on the moon, maybe for Make a Difference Day. Just thought of that. It's not a bad idea. It's 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 86 years ago today, the very first freeway in this country's history opened for business. Where else but in Southern California? The Arroyo-Seco Parkway, connecting the 8 miles between Pasadena and Los Angeles, is officially dedicated 86 years ago today. And to put this into perspective, that's a current shot of the Arroyo-Seco Parkway. There are 12,000 miles of freeway just in California. That's a lot. If you like freeways, today's your day. On this date in 1944, most of the German high command realized that we're not going to win the war. The Allies have made a toehold in France, are working their way towards Germany. We should probably figure something out, and the first thing we need to do is probably give Adolf the heave-ho by killing him. And this was the famous day in 1944 when Hitler survived the assassination attempt, the bombing that they planted underneath a table during a conference. The idea was to get Hitler out of there and make the Nazi Party, make peace with the Western Allies before they got obliterated. It didn't work. The coup d'etat failed. Hitler went nuts. He arrested 7,000 people. Many of them had nothing to do with the coup. And of those 7,000 people who were detained, Hitler personally ordered the execution of about 5,000 of them. Makes you wish, simple twists of fate. What would have happened if it actually did the job? That was on this date, 1944. It is Moon Day, 57 years ago today. That is the headline from the New York Times. Men walk on the moon. That was a headline of the New York Times. Here is the Washington Post, July the 20th, 1969, and the Seattle Times on the 20th day of July, 1969. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walk on the moon. Neil was the first, Buzz was the second. Michael Collins was the third guy. He didn't get to do that. Here, of course, in case you've never seen it, is what it was like.
How you doing, Control? We look good here, fine. How about you, Telcom? Go. Guidance, you happy? Go. Fido. Go. 2,000 feet, 2,000 feet, into the ag, 47 degrees. Roger. 37 degrees. Still looking very good. Here go. Stop alarm. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 1201 alarm. Same type, we're go, flight. Okay, we're go. We're go, same type, we're go. Altitude 1600. Eagle looking great. Roger, 1202, we copy it. 35 degrees, 750, coming down to 23. 540 feet and at 15. 1050 feet down at 4. Altitude, velocity light. 3.5 down, 220 feet. 11 forward, coming down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down, 5.5 down. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. Okay, 75 feet. Car's looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on, forward. Forward. 40 feet, down 2.5. Picking up some dust. Great shadow. 4 forward, drifting to the right a little. 30 seconds. Forward. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Pretty darn cool. And finally, we're going to show you what made baseball history on this date 50 years ago today. I think I'm going to tell you one of my favorite baseball stories about what happened to the ball. First of all, here it is. Hank Aaron in the bottom of the 7th inning at County Stadium in Milwaukee off Dick Drago. Take a look at the guy in yellow who ends up with the baseball. He reached down there and picked it up. His name was Richard Arndt. This was on this date 50 years ago. Everybody knew this was Hank Aaron's last year in baseball. It was no secret. But nobody thought that the 755th home run that he just hit would be the all-time record. I mean, there was still the rest of July, all of August, and all of September. Nobody really gave much thought to the baseball. But a couple of weeks later, Hank Aaron got hurt, and he didn't play again. And then the season ended, and everybody in Milwaukee, specifically the Brewers and Hank Aaron, said, well, what happened to the 755th baseball? Well, Richard Arndt is the guy who ended up with the baseball. He was a groundskeeper and an employee of the Milwaukee Brewers, and he took the baseball and put it in his pocket and took it home. Well, the season ended, and everybody says, well, who's got the ball? And Richard Arndt says, I got the ball. Bud Selig, the owner of the Brewers, said, well, it's Brewer property. That's part of your employee agreement. If you get a baseball, foul ball, or whatever, you're supposed to return it to the ball club. He said, I'm not going to. So they fired him. Then they went to court, and the judge split the baby in half. They said the Milwaukee Brewers had every right to fire you, Richard, but you still get to keep the baseball. And so he kept the baseball. And then in 1994, he got the baseball out of his dresser drawer, and he went to an autograph show where Hank Aaron was there, and Hank Aaron signed the baseball. Hank Aaron had no idea it was the 755th and final home run of his career. He just signed that baseball, and then Richard took it back home and put it back in his dresser drawer. And finally, in 1999, he sold it at auction. Richard did. He gave 1/4 of the proceeds to Hank Aaron's favorite charity, the baseball, although not owned by Major League Baseball or Bud Selig or Hank Aaron's estate, is still in the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. And birthdays. 2 heavenly birthdays. First guy to get to the top of the world, Sir Edmund Hillary. And of course, his Sherpa, Tenzing Norgay, did the deed. And after Edmund Hillary became a big celebrity and got a lot of money, he devoted himself to helping all the Sherpa people in Nepal because they lived in horrid conditions. He had schools built and he had hospitals built, and he paid for it himself. Pretty cool. Edmund Hillary, born in the state in 1919. And Natalie Wood was born Natalie Zakharenko. She was Russian by genealogy, and that's your name. You change it to Natalie Wood. She died at the age of 43 under mysterious circumstances. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. A thought-provoking commentary from Mike Mignotti is coming up because everybody's entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion. And then my conversation with Mike Malmin, getting the latest from Serve Wenatchee Valley. They're going great guns, even though Mike went on vacation. That's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff, turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my family and I have done something that's really weird in every house we've always lived in. We've always found some little cubby hole, attic access, or someplace under the stairs, and we've always said, this is where we'll hide our Jews. Now, this is a symbolic gesture, motivated by a remembrance of the Holocaust and the need for us to sometimes step up and protect and stand for the persecuted and the disenfranchised. While this need was something in the past I thought we'd never face in this country, recent events have made me reconsider this. There are things happening in our great nation right now that would have been considered inconceivable only a few years ago. And maybe it's time to, again, symbolically consider, where would we hide our Jews? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Slide and surf all summer long. Soundwave Saturdays, more than a surf park, it's the summer scene. Grab a drink and enjoy live music every Saturday in July and August. Slide Waters in Lake Chelan. Don't miss it.
We like that so much we decided to air it twice. Good news for this guy. In about a half an hour, he's on a much needed vacation. He's never bored, Mike Malmin, but back in early October, he went from busy to really, really busy. He's been going nonstop. It was in October of last year when they had the flood at the Wenatchee Valley headquarters. Mike Malmin, Chief Hope Officer. I still like to use the term Chief Hope.
We still use it too.
And that was something that I got from Tom Nees. Yeah. How is Tom? I haven't seen Tom. How's Tom Nees doing?
You know, Common Ground just got their first units up and running.
At the Creel Cottages?
And it's pretty exciting. You know, that kind of birthed out of Serve Wenatchee, so it's fun to watch another agency, another nonprofit, do good work in the valley, and it sort of flowed a little bit out of Serve Wenatchee. So good for Tom.
Yeah, good for. Tell him I said I see Tom all the time, and now he's. I think he likes the fact that he's focused on that one project that he gets to sink his teeth into. Yeah. So, and the Creel Cottages is a fantastic thing. You should check it out. It's up by Sangster Motors there on 9th Street. So last time you and I visited in person, we went down to the flooded and getting fixed up Serve Wenatchee Valley headquarters on Orondo. What has happened, what has developed from the time we went and visited you, I want to say in late May, until now in July?
Well, we've been working behind the scenes on a variety of things. One, getting all of our permits with the city. We did need to go get a conditional use permit to get back into that space, particularly because we're expanding that space. We also had to get building permits. We also had to get our architect doing design work and getting that all up to speed. We did get our building permit about 2 weeks ago. I can tell you the demo is nearly done there, and they're ready to start putting walls back up, and we're pretty excited about it. But we've got a lot of work ahead of us to get that going again.
Any surprises? I mean, we toured it, and it's an older building. And whenever you have an older building, sometimes it's like, I didn't know there was a wall there. Or didn't know
it's a 100-year-old building, and there's some great. One of the things is a lot of sheetrock had to come down. There's some great rock walls in there and other things,
I saw those.
and stone foundation, and it's just a neat space down there. And we're really going to be able to make it a very user-friendly space for us and for our clients. And in addition, we're going to be able to expand services and help more people should the need arise. And so we're basically increasing the size by about 25 to 30% in square footage, but in we inherited a space from the Red Cross, and then we made it work for us. What we're going to have now is a space specifically designed for us. So we'll be able to add more intake offices to meet with clients should the need arise. We're kind of prepping for the future. But probably the most significant thing that's going to go on down there is we're going to increase the size of our Fresh Hope Market, our food pantry.
Which you badly needed to do.
Yeah, it was crammed, and at our temporary location, we're even more crammed. So we're having to turn things over much faster. Much work for my warehouse guy. But this is going to be a 75% increase in market space. So with 2 checkout lines, so we can just rotate more clients through. Because right now, everybody comes to us, gets an intake, and gets scheduled a time. So we're squeezed by that. And on most days, we fill those. And certainly when we move down to our downtown location, which is much more convenient, we're going to see more traffic, because we did drop off drop in traffic when we moved to the other side of the river, but we still increased food output.
And for your architect and for you guys as well, outside of the load-bearing walls that you need to make sure the building doesn't fall down, you were able to kind of have a blank slate. You realized that, because as you said before, you inherited it from the Red Cross when they moved out, but the walls and the offices stayed the same, and you realized you were wasting space. You had offices that were too big in areas that you didn't need.
The offices down there were really quite massive, and they don't really need to be. They need to host a staff member, and for our intake specialists, a client in a dignified space with some privacy, so that we can sort of get to the core of why our clients are coming in, and then identify the best way to meet their needs. So it's going to be a fun space. We've got an actually world-renowned architect working on the space, which is funny to me, but it'll be a neat space.
Yeah, and it badly needed as well. And so the last time I talked to you in regarding to the remodel, you were hoping, say, November-ish, kind of ishy?
Yeah, I would love to be October, but I'm also realistic. The challenge for us is going to be all 4 of our major outreach events happen from August on. And so there's a high degree of likelihood that we're going to be relocating to our expanded space during our busy season, and so we're just going to have to figure out how to get that to happen. And of course, we got to raise some money to get back into the space. But this community has just been so fabulous in terms of helping us and in terms of getting us back up and running. I mean, it is a miracle that we were only closed for several weeks after this flood that literally destroyed everything we had. And so I fully expect the community will step in again. Because I think the community likes the work we do.
Do you want to talk specifics? You want to give me, this is what we have and this is what we need?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that?
Absolutely. We just got this yesterday. We've been working back and forth with our contractor down there, and I will say the building owners, the Clennons, that Midtown building, have been fantastic to work with. We think it's going to be somewhere around $430,000 to get back into that space.
Now that to me is a pretty good deal.
It's a screaming deal.
I'm not an expert, but it sounds to me like it's less than I would anticipate.
Yeah, one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves in at Serve Wenatchee is being scrappy, being nimble. We're not a Rolls Royce, we're a well-running Hyundai, and so we wanted to make this create a great space in the most efficient way possible, using the least amount of money possible, because whatever money we don't use on construction, we use on food and rent, and so that's a big deal for us. About 430-ish. In that area to get back into the space. The building owners are giving us the insurance money that would have been used to get that space back to what it was. which is about $140,000. In addition, we received an anonymous $100,000 donation. So we're going to need to raise about $200,000. We're calling it our Hope for Tomorrow campaign. If somebody wants to contribute to this to get us back up and running, they go to servewenatchee.org, click on the Hope for Tomorrow icon, and they can donate right there.
Does the fact that Serve Wenatchee Valley is a faith-based organization give the people who give you money a little more peace of mind, knowing that it's not going to be fizzled away, that Mike's not going to be driving around in a Rolls Royce in about 3 weeks? So they get it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a variety of things. I think the fact that we are faith-based and have worked with so many churches, and by the way, that list has grown in the last 2 years. We work with so many churches. You know, we really have three legs that support us. Churches, the largest section is donors, individual donors, and then businesses have been huge for us, and we've seen exponential growth there. Numerica just gave us $25,000 for rental deposit assistance. So,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw the photo of the giant novelty oversized check.
We love those checks.
Can you take those to the bank?
I think you could take anything as long as it has the routing and account number on it. I think anything that has I think you can. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But maybe we should bring a camera and have me try depositing a check at our bank. That would be
next time you get one of those giant novelty oversized checks from Numerica or any of the great people who are helping you out, you just do the photo op and let's take it to the bank and see if we can.
But getting back to trust, I think there's a couple things. There's our church connection. There's our long-standing ties to the community. There's a good relationship with businesses, churches. There's also the fact that we do things in a lean way, and I think one of the more important things is we are entirely local. We do not take government money right now. We have not needed it. This valley has supported us helping other valley people. And I think people like the idea of their money being managed and used locally, hopefully by an organization they trust.
Is there a parallel faith-based organization that sort of mirrors Serve Wenatchee Valley in the state of Washington that I don't know about?
There are a couple organizations that are doing things similar to us. I think we were kind of early in. The model originally started with a group of pastors coming together and say we can do better together than we can do apart.
Where have I heard that before?
Sure, but also this idea that, what tends to happen is people will go from church to church to church and get duplicate services. And the idea was to create this clearinghouse where churches could send people that's still foundational to who we are and say, hey, we support this organization. They'll help you, and we'll help with rent, rental deposit assistance, food, furniture. They can come to us, and we have a pretty good success rate.
In about a month, a whole bunch of kids, hopefully really happy kids, and their parents will be congregating at the Columbia Grove Covenant Church there in East Wenatchee. It's back closed for the classroom. Registration is now open, and that's the first thing we need to stress. You can't just show up and get clothes. You got to register in advance so you know what you need, right?
Yeah. If you're a family in need, and getting new back-to-school clothes presents some challenges, come to us. We strongly believe that dignity and self-confidence influence academic performance.
Yes, you don't have to believe it. It's factually true.
And so students getting to come and select a new back-to-school wardrobe, 2 shirts, a pair of jeans or pants, a brand new pair of shoes, all of it brand new clothing in a marketplace at the church that's set up like a store where they're not handed these clothes.
The kids get to pick them out.
They go pick them out. They pick the shoes out. And so it's a big deal. It's our largest individual outreach of the year. But what we need folks to do right now is if you're in need, go again to servewenatchee.org and go to Clothes for the Classroom, click register, and you can pick a time to show up that day. You don't have to stand in line for 3 hours. We're going to have vendors set up there. The Apple Socks, the Wild are going to be there. We've got lots of other family-friendly organizations that are going to be giving out services. There's going to be drawings for prizes, and all folks really need to do to participate is go online and sign up.
Outside of you must pre-register, what are the other prerequisites for clothes for the classroom that people need to know, like ages and geographic location? There are some parameters there, right?
Yeah, the geographic locations are the footprint of the Wenatchee and Eastmont school districts up through Orondo. We work up through 8th grade with clothes, so that's a big one. We do have some gift cards for older kids that may show up, but they can't register for that. Right. And so those are basically the parameters, and you need to be in need. This isn't a free clothing giveaway for folks that have resources.
You have to.
Yeah. So that's what we need folks to do, and it's such a fun event. And our host partner, Columbia Grove, is just so on board with it. And we just talk with people throughout the day, try to identify maybe they have other needs that we can help them with, or maybe they know of someone that they could use our services. But we just want to bless people because kids are not responsible for the family situation and the economic situation.
They're oftentimes victims
they find themselves in, right? And so this is a real great opportunity for the Wenatchee Valley to take care of kids that otherwise may be struggling a little bit.
And you don't have to worry about buying the clothes because Mike's organization is doing it. You just give Mike's organization the dough and you go out and you have long-term relationships with clothing stores here in town, so they give you a deal and everybody wins.
It's been fantastic. We've got a woman named Amy Depew who does all our clothes purchasing for us. She is the wheeler dealer. I will tell you what, she finds deals like I've never seen. So we can do 2 shirts, a new pair of pants. This is quality stuff. We're upgrading our shoe order this year, getting a little higher quality of shoe, and we're doing it all for $40. So $40 for 2 shirts, jeans, new pair of shoes. You can't do that. No. If you go to the stores. And so, we're looking for people. They can go to our website. This is all, we have to raise the money for this. And it's an interesting time for us because we're also trying to raise money to get back into our building. So there's a lot of strain and a lot of ask going on. It's a one-off. We won't be asking for a building permanently. But we do need to raise money for Clothes for the Classroom. Go to the website again, click on Clothes for Classroom, $40 for an outfit.
How many warm bodies do you need to pull this off? If you've got 1,000 kids.
A little over 100.
So do you have volunteers? Or do you need them,
and we need volunteers. In fact, you can go to servewenatchee.org today, click on volunteer, and sign up. Every volunteer gets a free T-shirt and a free name tag, and off they go. And
a big, fat, warm, fuzzy feeling on their inside.
It is. It's great. My volunteers love the day, and the vendors that show up love the day. It's a hoot. It's a lot of fun.
You talk about you're heading into your busier time of the year. You're never not busy. The need never goes down ever. Yeah. For Serve Wenatchee Valley, is there times of the year that you know you're going? I mean, you talk about busy times and quieter times. There isn't really such a thing in your line of work, but from 25 years or more of Serve Wenatchee Valley to prepare for certain times of the year where you're going to be a little busier than others, right?
Well, and for us, a lot of it's built in because our 4 major events: Clothes for the Classroom, Coats for Kids, Baskets of Blessing, Thanksgiving Outreach, and the Glory of Christmas gift giveaway for children and teens. Those all take place, 4 of those in the last 5 months of the year. And so it's busy. And now we're going to compound having to move on top of that and probably have to be closed for a week or so to relocate everything. So it's going to be busy season. In terms of the rhythm of need stays largely consistent. I will tell you this, 5 years ago, I think we did about 80,000 pounds of food. Last year, even being closed for 3 weeks because of the flood, we did 141,000 pounds of food.
So almost double.
Yeah, and this year we are on track to do 186,000 pounds of food. Now, some of that is a choice. When the Lighthouse Food Box program shut down, we elected to increase the amount of food each client can get from us when they come in. And then also we did that in response to some government programs being curtailed or cut back. Because we believe, the best source of help is local help. And so we're not... Somebody, I was speaking to a business organization yesterday, and I said, people will look at those numbers and go, well, that's very exciting. And I'll go, what would be exciting is the numbers dropping dramatically. Yeah. Right? That would be what's exciting. Because that would mean we have people fully employed. That would mean people are making wages. If you're working in certain sectors of our economy that are vital to our economy here in the Wenatchee Valley. Rent, we all know what rent is here. And so people don't have, some folks don't have any disposable income or less than disposable.
Or their income stream is heavy, heavy, heavy for a short period of time, but then zippo for months on end.
Yeah, and so, you know, we try to step in to that gap. We're excited to get back downtown.
I've been trying, I tried with Bob Shepard, I tried with Tom Nees, I'm going to try with you to get you guys out of business. I've failed miserably, but I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah, because I need to retire.
Yeah, you do.
I need to stop working. But I don't know if that's what this is. You know, I just think that you know, we're a homelessness prevention organization. We're about dignity. We're about helping people. That's why we love our rental deposit assistance program, because these are people that are trying to dig themselves out of a hole they may have found themselves in through no fault of their own. We just helped a young woman this week with a rental deposit assistance to young children. And since we helped her 2 weeks ago, since then she's actually identified a better job. They're in stable housing for the first time in a long time. She said her kids are just flourishing. She told me she got this new job, and she goes, I'm looking forward to being able to contribute back to serve Wenatchee. And I thought, that's what we want to hear. That's what
it's great to see you, Mike. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your little time off. Much needed. I'll keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing goes
cattywampus. If you can hold down the fort, I'll just tell my staff you'll be into.
Just tell Deb to take some time off. Knowing Mike, he'll be on vacation. He'll call the office. Nobody's answering the phone. I'm just kidding. Mike Malmin, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to be here.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
That's our Billigo camera that you just saw. It looks a little smoky and a little hazy up to the north of us, and there's a reason for that, in case you missed it. The Kaiser Canyon fire just absolutely exploded over the weekend. It's at 103 square miles. That's a lot of burning, and now unfortunately it's worked its way into some timber. It's a pretty heavy timber on the outskirts of the areas in and around the Nespelem area. And that smoke, what you see there, it kind of jumps right out at you. This is a time lapse of where the winds in the upper atmosphere are going to do, and it's going to start sending some of the smoke from the Kaiser Canyon fire down towards us. So we are expecting the air quality to degrade a little bit. Right now, it looks like Moses Lake and Ephrata may get the worst of it, but it's going to skim right over to the Wenatchee Valley. So as the day progresses, look to the north and to the east, and if you start seeing some pretty hazy skies, now you know why. And it may keep our temperatures down a little bit, depending on exactly how thick the smoke is, how dense it is, but for the time being, the National Weather Service has not changed their mind. Hazy today, warm, 92, but that 92 is going to feel downright comfortable compared to what we're in for. We're going to be pretty close to 100. Again, a lot of it is going to depend exactly on how thick the smoke is going to get. Now, the days are getting shorter. We're losing about 2 minutes of daylight a day, but we're under the influence of a pretty ginormous ridge of high pressure, and that's going to just radiate the heat. 102 back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday. Not record highs, not even close to it, but still Pretty warm indeed, but no wind at all in the forecast until we get to Friday night and Saturday, at least for the Wenatchee Valley. And what we really need is rain. There's none of that coming. Don't look for rain because it's not in the foreseeable future of the forecast. So, to our friends to the north and the east, hang in there. All right, we're thinking about you. And provided the show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.